You're late? I was beginning to think you'd changed your mind. Driven all this way only to sit in the parking lot and reconsider. It's what I would have done. A man in your position has every reason to be cautious about meeting strangers in unfamiliar places.
I'm never late. I'm exactly when I mean to be. The parking lot was for observation, counting cars, watching who comes and goes. You've been here 43 minutes. Ordered 1 beer. Checked the exits twice. You're cautious too. That's good. Cautious men are predictable. Predictable men are easier to work with.
A scientist's mind, everything measured, everything calculated. I read about you, Mr. White, or should I call you Heisenberg? I'm never sure which name men in your profession prefer. Personally, I've always used my real name. Lying about who you are seems exhausting, though I suppose in your line of work the alternative name serves a practical function.
Schultz is German. You're a long way from home, doctor. What brings a European to the American Southwest? I'm guessing it wasn't the cuisine. The beer here certainly isn't up to your standards. I saw your face when you tasted it. That's the face of a man accustomed to better things.
I was a dentist originally, then a bounty hunter. Now I'm something harder to categorize, a freelancer, let's say. I go where the work takes me. America has no shortage of work for men with my particular skills. And you? A chemistry teacher, if I'm not mistaken. High school. Albuquerque, that's quite a journey to where you are now.
50 years old. Lung cancer. A samurai that couldn't cover the treatment. A family that would have been left with nothing but debt and a funeral bill. I did what I had to do. The chemistry was always there. The opportunity presented itself. I made a rational decision based on available options. Simple as that.
Simple as that? You make it sound like choosing between brands of cereal? I became a bounty hunter because I was good at shooting and bad at staying in one place. But I never pretended it was purely practical. There was ego involved, the thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of being the smartest man in the room. I suspect you understand that feeling quite well, Mr. White.
I understand chemistry. I built something from nothing. A product so pure it created its own market. That's not ego. That's competence. There's a difference. Ego is caring what other people think. I stopped caring about that a long time ago. I just wanted to provide for my family. Everything else was just methodology.
Provide for your family? Yes, you've said that twice now. It's a good story, noble, even a dying man sacrificing his principles so his children can eat. I've used similar stories myself. When I killed men for money, I told myself they deserved it, that I was cleaning up the world one bounty at a time, and some of them did deserve it. But that wasn't really why I did it. I did it because I was good at it, and being good at something dangerous is intoxicating.
You're projecting. Assuming your motivations are universal. They're not. I have a son with cerebral palsy. I have a daughter who was born while I was cooking methamphetamine in the desert. I have a wife who looked at me like I was already dead months before the diagnosis. I wasn't seeking thrills, Dr. Schultz. I was solving a problem. The only way it could be solved.
And when the problem was solved, when you had enough money to pay for treatment 10 times over, when your family was secure, what then? Did you stop? Did you walk away and become Walter White again, humble teacher, loving father, or did you keep going, keep building, keep proving something to someone whose name you probably can't even say out loud anymore?
You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know idea what I've sacrificed. What I've lost. I've watched people die. I've made decisions that will follow me forever. You think I did that for fun? For ego? I did it because once you start down a certain road, stopping becomes more dangerous than continuing. I was trapped by circumstances, not chasing glory.
Trapped? That's another good word. I use that one too. When I helped a slave rescue his wife from a plantation, I told myself I was trapped by the situation. That Calvin Candy forced my hand. That I had no choice but to shoot him. But the truth is, I wanted to shoot him. I wanted it for days. The slavery disgusted me, yes. But the disgust was fuel for something else. Something that had nothing to do with justice. I killed him because my pride couldn't tolerate shaking his hand. And that pride cost me everything.
So you're saying you made a mistake. Fine, we all make mistakes. But that doesn't mean every decision is ego in disguise. Sometimes a man does what's necessary and lives with the consequences. I didn't start cooking meth because I wanted to feel powerful. I started because I was dying and had nothing to leave behind. If that's ego, then the word has lost all meaning.
Let me ask you something, Walter. When you first saw your product on the street, when you heard people talking about the blue meth, the purity, the chemist behind it, when Heisenberg became a name that dealers whispered with respect, how did that feel? Not what it meant for your family, not the practical implications, just the feeling. In your chest, in your gut, what was that feeling?
I'm not going to sit here and be psychoanalyzed by Bounty Hunter with a guilt complex. You want me to admit I enjoyed it? Fine. Parts of it, I enjoyed. The craftsmanship. The problem solving. Watching people underestimate me and then realizing their mistake. But enjoyment isn't the same as motivation. I can enjoy something that I also had to do. Those aren't contradictions.
No, they're not contradictions. They're layers. We do things for reasons we understand, and beneath those reasons are other reasons we don't want to understand. And beneath those are the real reasons. The ones we'd rather die than admit. I killed Calvin Candy to free Django's wife. That's the first layer. I killed him because I couldn't stomach the evil he represented. That's the second layer. I killed him because he made me feel small, and killing him made me feel big again. That's the truth. The ugly little engine driving the whole machine.
And you think my engine is the same? That I built an empire and destroyed my family because I wanted to feel big? You're wrong. I was dying. Do you understand that? Actually dying. Looking at my children knowing I would miss everything. Knowing they would forget my face. Knowing my contribution to the world was a stack of tests and a mortgage I couldn't finish paying. I didn't want to feel big. I wanted to matter. There's a difference.
Is there? I want it to matter too. Every man with a gun wants to matter. Every man who breaks the rules wants to matter. The quiet dentist filling cavities in Bavaria didn't matter. The bounty hunter with a pistol and a wanted poster mattered. I traded one life for another and called it adventure. Called it justice. Called it anything except what it was. Tell me, Walter, what do you call it?
I call it survival. I call it refusing to disappear without a trace. My old business partners are billionaires now because of work I did. My name was erased from the company I helped build. Every contribution I ever made was stolen or forgotten. So yes, I wanted to leave a mark. I wanted something that was mine. Something that couldn't be taken away or credited to someone else. If that's ego, then ego is just another word for self-respect.
Self-respect. Now we're getting closer. You know what I've noticed about self-respect? It never stays satisfied. You earn it, and then it needs more earning. You build something, and it needs to be bigger. You prove yourself to one person, and suddenly you need to prove yourself to everyone. Jesse Pinkman, Gustavo Fring, the cartel, the DEA, your brother-in-law, one audience after another, each one harder to impress.
You're describing ambition like it's a disease. It's not. Ambition is what separates men who build things from men who talk about building things. I built something. Something real. Something that will exist long after I'm gone. You shot a plantation owner and got yourself killed in the process. What did that build? What legacy did your pride leave behind, Dr. Schultz? A body on the floor and a woman still in chains until someone else finished the job.
You're right, I failed. Spectacularly. The woman was eventually freed, but not by me. Django did that. He was always the better man. I just pointed him in the right direction and got in the way at the worst possible moment. But here's what I know that you don't, Walter. I know I failed. I died knowing it. You're still alive. Still telling yourself the story of the dying father who had no choice. And one day, maybe soon, you're going to run out of people who believe it, including yourself.
I am not a good man. I know that. I've known it for a while. But I'm not what you're describing either. Some monster who destroyed everything for the pleasure of feeling important. I am a man who was given a death sentence and decided to write his own ending instead. The ending got out of control. The cost was higher than I calculated. But the calculation wasn't wrong. I was dying. I had nothing. And I refused to go quietly. Call that ego if you want. I call it the only honest thing I ever did.